Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card reading on what makes you so sexy, so attractive, so magnetic, if you will. I'm getting magnetic. So why are people drawn to you? But sex appeal is the name of the game here. So the major questions are going to revolve around that. We have three options here. Pick a card reading means you get to pick the card, the number, the object. I will be placing objects here in a moment. Whatever resonates with you, you use your intuition to pick the group. You may even like the timestamps down below. Maybe there's a number sequence that you like rather than 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's just, a number sequence that shows up, that's been showing up for you. You get to recognize that. Use your intuition to do that. Intuition and discernment are so important, especially on anything that you consume. And when we are talking about yourself, especially that as well. You know what's right for you, so take what resonates, leave the rest. I get comments all the time like, well, this is almost right. Exactly, it's almost right. You know what's right for you, and we're bringing this up. Things are coming up, bubbling up. There's a reason that you're drawn here. There's something that you need to contemplate, something that you need to think about, and it's not a one-sided thing. Your energy is needed as well. So that's out there. So the objects, let's talk about the objects. First of all, group number 1, this is Mystic Mondays. It is a very kind of like geometric type pattern deck, very colorful on the other side. And the object that goes with it is this Brecciated Jasper. For group number 2, this is also a very colorful deck, although the backs don't appear so. This is a very surrealistic, feminine type energy deck. It is Mystical Moments, and the object that goes with it is this lovely Caribbean Calcite. Brecciated quartz, Caribbean Calcite. And for number 3, that goes with this more modern deck. What is this called? Light Seer's Tarot. It's the most modern deck that's out here, although this one's pretty modern as well, I would say. And the object that goes over here, we have Jade. We have Jade. Jasper, Calcite, Jade is what we have going on here. So if you're still not sure which group is calling to you, what's resonating for you, let's do an exercise. Just be here in the moment. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Blow out any tension. Let's set the intention that you get the messages that you need to receive. While we're here, I'm just feeling this gratitude at you being here. And I hope that, the intention for me as well is that you feel this gratitude towards yourself. So I just feel like I need to say that. So take another deep breath in and release. Go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Again, thank you for being here, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, group 1. So here is our Brecciated quartz, our lovely Mystic Mondays deck. We are going to ask the questions. I've got 5 questions we're going to ask. Pull at least 1 card out of this deck for each of those questions, revolving around your sex appeal. What makes you so sexy? Why do people find you attractive? What do you need to find attractive about yourself? Things like that. And then I've got a couple supporting decks that we'll pull at the end. So let's just jump right into this. I've already shuffled here, but I shuffle as we go. I'm making sure that we get the right card to come out here. Let's pull an energy for you right now. Let's see, how is our person feeling right now? And we get the Emperor. The Emperor comes out. It came out in reverse. I find this as a blocked energy though, and I'm going to read it as such. I think you're having a hard time finding your confidence. It almost reminds me of, if you've ever heard of Toby Keith, there's a song like, I think it's from the 90s, early 2000s. Sorry, it's been a minute, but it's this idea of not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was. So there feels like there's been like a shift from either your youth or like you sometimes like from high school, we're in a pattern of doing something like in one stage of our life. So like high school, we're in a pattern of doing something. We move on to another stage of our life, like college, and we're embracing something else. So something has slipped through your fingers that you want to return to. When we have got the Emperor here, the foundation is there for you to return to. Emperor is number 4. 4 is a number of stability. And I think it's more of a recognition of the pattern of your former self and to bring it back up, to reimagine it, to rediscover it. The Emperor is also the quintessential masculine here, so it's about action. And the thing that's not happening for you right now, or that's pulling you down, it's the action part, that either you're lost in your thought about the thing, or you're like wondering how it happened. And what really needs to happen is you taking steps towards it. What can help is having like a goal and some guidelines. You want something that's achievable though, almost ridiculously so, like a 5-minute walk, something like that. You need to start, you know, if this is around your body, maybe this is around, for some of you, I think it's around a skill that like singing or something. So for some of you, I feel like it's like you had this, maybe you were in choir and you sang all the time and now you've moved past that and you don't, but it's something that makes you unique, or you feel unique, or you feel good about yourself when you're doing it and you're accomplishing it. And it's just life has moved you away from it, and it's time to return. So right now you're the action part of it, the doing it, is just blocking yourself. And sometimes when things shift, like that idea of moving from like high school, for instance, like you're in high school and you're working out every day because you know, basketball practice or whatever, or you were in high school and you maybe rode horses or whatever activity that was, choir, you went there every day, and now you had like that group environment and you moved past it, you don't have that teacher anymore, and you just don't know where to go. You have to take small steps to get there. Maybe even like some YouTube videos to kind of rediscover that connection. And once you start delving into it, you'll find it's much easier, because I feel like you still have contacts here. I feel like you still have people around you who did that with you, who would do it with you again. And it's the action part that needs to happen. Now the Emperor is also a very powerful energy. This is a major arcana card. This is a card of somebody who puts a plan in place and goes out and gets it. And the hard part of this is when it comes out in reverse, it means that the key to it is your own self, your own mind, your own confidence that's holding you back here. What do others find sexy about you though? What do others find sexy about you? And we have the World reverse. The World is another major arcana card. The World is kind of like an ending when it's upright. We have it in reverse here. But also, I want you to notice, it doesn't really matter on this card, upright or reverse, like in this particular deck, it's the same thing, right? We've got these endless cycles and endless circles. I feel like you have so much to offer different people that from different perspectives, they really find you enchanting. There's some people who look at you and they find you physically attractive. Other people who get to know you, or they may have been originally, and you know, I've got the Emperor here as well. I'm seeing like, sweetie, you have no problem with being sexy and attractive to other people. It's more of your own belief and maybe what has happened in the ebb and flow of life right now, where you're kind of questioning yourself or disbelieving yourself. Sometimes we move like from, like you may have had it in high school or felt like you had it in high school, and we're on a different plane and you don't really know what to do. And it's basically like there is no script now, and you do what is good for you. Because there's, from other people's perspectives, no matter how they're looking at you, you have so much to offer. Again, like that skill, that energy of that skill is still coming through. Like I just feel like anybody who's for you, those of you, because I'm just getting this strong vibe about singing, sorry, if that isn't you, but you know who you are. If I'm talking to you about that singing, like, you have a beautiful voice. And that might be too, like, if you're like, I never sang, it might be just that you have a beautiful calming voice, calming energy. And what I like about the world coming out in reverse, especially in this position of like what other people find sexy about you, is in a partner relationship, in a friendship, like, it's boundless, it's endless, it keeps expanding. I feel like you're somebody who's very, very powerful, and once you take steps and move forward towards what you want, there's nothing that you can't attain. And I feel like that, I don't want to say aggression, there's some aggression here. There might be ambition. That type of ambition is very solid and sexy. So it's not just one thing that you can put your finger on. The other thing that's interesting about the world is usually there are 4 signs on here. What are they? They're Scorpio, Taurus for sure. One of each suit, if you will. So there's air, fire, water, and earth. I feel like you have so much to offer that you just aren't clearly seeing it. And it depends on the person looking at you of what they find attractive or it's totally sexy about you. What's a hidden gem? What is something that is very attractive and sexy about you that you are not seeing? That's interesting. I think you break a lot of hearts. We've got the 3 of Swords here. I think that you don't know how attractive you are. I think that sometimes people come up to you and they're very nice to you or whatever, and you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. That might be hard too, because you're seeing somebody as a friendship or somebody who's just being nice to you, but they really intend it to be more, and you cut it off and you hurt them. That's the 3 of Swords here. We've got swords going through the hearts here. You may be holding yourself back because somebody hurt your heart, but I feel like you're a heartbreaker. I don't feel like you intend to do that, and it's not your fault, and it's people who are, you know, attracted to you and then step out a little bit, and they're just disappointed that you see them as a friendship kind of thing versus, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you find somebody attractive, that's great, and return it. But I feel like you just have this almost goddess god type energy where if you really wanted to go out and seduce and hurt a lot of people, you could. I don't feel like you're doing it intentionally. And I feel like when you get attention on you, that sometimes people are just like, oh, well, shoot, I really wanted your number. I really wanted to connect with you. I really wanted to coffee date. And you are just like, but you leave them with like a smile, like a almost like this bitter smile, and that's fine. The interaction with you is great. It's just that there's something very powerful about you that when they interact with you, it's almost like, because your energy is so big that there's like, you tempt people to think bigger, to think more, to think long term. And when it's just a simple interaction, when you're just like, oh, I'm just here to get a coffee, I'm not here to break your heart, or I'm just here to do my job. I do think you have a lot of admirers, and they don't know how to approach you and you break their heart a little bit. Again, I don't think that's bad, because everybody kind of like, I mean, it breaks my heart that Chris Hemsworth is married, so that kind of thing, where there's like this whole like what could have been, what might have been type energy around you, only because you help people see things in a bigger way, in a bigger light. There are people who would like never be in a relationship, who when they meet you, they're like, okay, I see it, I could do that. You know, they would see you as a long-term thing, even though they would never imagine that with other people. There's something about you. How to appreciate your sex appeal. Going back to the Emperor here, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, and this is putting in some work. This is seeing it, like you are 70% there. I feel like we really needed to have this little pep talk with you. And this is just kind of like you've put in a lot of work. It's time to just let things bloom and appreciate. I feel like the first person that needs to appreciate your attractiveness, your sexiness is yourself. I feel like we're already seeing that. I almost feel like some of these people who you're breaking their heart is because you don't see yourself the way that they see you, with this endless sexiness, this endless appeal, this endless beauty that you have. You don't know your own strength yet. This almost reminds me of a lot of young women who just haven't, I'm going to say young women. I'm sure it happens with young men too, but I know like a lot of my friends or I think about myself, my younger self, and I'm like, man, if I knew what I know now, if I had the confidence that I have now, like that situation would have gone completely different, or I would have talked to that person if I knew if I could see myself the way that other people see me. Action and work. So any place that you feel like you need a little bit of brush up, I don't think it's going to take much. I think that really it's more about confidence, really more about putting yourself out there. And the Seven of Pentacles is putting in the work and trusting the process, trusting yourself. And then how to bring out your sex appeal. How can we bring out your sex appeal? We have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is kind of like you have a ton of options. You have a ton of options. I think that's also what here is breaking other people's hearts. I almost feel like there is like a chameleon type energy around you where people, and I think I see this with the world too. Remember I said that different perspectives, like you are a different person in different people's minds because they see that one thing that they like about you and it outshines so many other things. So you have a ton of options here. That's what the Seven of Cups is. Look at these two sevens, like a work in progress. Like once you put this together with your confidence, you're going to be unstoppable, like totally seductive, seductress, seductor, seduction. In your wheelhouse. It's more of a being more comfortable in your own skin. The options thing and this leaving people with broken hearts is, I think that sometimes you may flirt or smile or make eye contact with people that you know that you're not going to start anything with, just to like uplift their day. And uplift your own day, uplift your own confidence. But any one of those people, like if you were to push it, would love to be something more with you, I think, with the seductiveness here. The flip side of the Seven of Cups is what you already know is it's never going to work out with this person or that person or whatever. And those little flirtations are fun and they know it's fun too. So it's more about honing yourself to finding the right fit. So if you're a single person, it's about discovering who you are and appreciating yourself and using that seductive quality for the right person, for the right situation, for the right thing. It's discovering through all of these options how to do that. I feel like this is here in the how to bring it out section because it's interesting to see yourself through other people's eyes. So put yourself in their shoes and, you know, sometimes you're like, yeah, that's me, or no, that's not who I want to be. So trying on different, almost like trying on different outfits here. But do little things that make you feel good about yourself and show that you have options. Look at the music coming out. Music Dancing, I feel like, is a big thing about confidence. Listen carefully, for there may be messages in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. So fairies, this is a fairy deck. That's why it's talking about bringing fairies to your door. Fairies is in like little magic. I feel like make some playlists. Figure that out. Sing along. Sing in the shower. Even if it's, I feel like there's some of you who are very gifted at singing. Others of you, it's just like a good way to express yourself and give you that little boost of confidence and energy. Moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. So calming, peace of mind is really important. Moon energy, and in the sky right now, a lot of people can see the aurora borealis, the northern lights right now. Take some moments to yourself to really, to look at the sky a little bit. Find that energy and that calm and that stillness. It's good to be by yourself. I almost feel like maybe the Eight of Cups is here to talk about you trying to surround yourself with people all the time, to really get into your seductive energy, to your seductive self. I feel like you almost need to pull it back to you and what you're working on and how you want to be perceived and what you want to do, and then push that out there. I feel like almost some of this is about you bouncing off of other people and trying to be attractive to them in what they see, and it's coming across. People are seeing that, but it's not doing much for your own confidence, for your own self, for your own confidence. So meditation, and maybe that meditation at night right before you go to bed can help too. Crystal. Whew. And we get fawn. I almost feel like this idea of being sexy and seductive is kind of new to you with the fawn energy. So crystal, this card represents protection, cleansing, and purity. You can be sexy and seductive and still be pure. I think like that whole kind of girl next door energy or vibe is like that. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. If that's what you're comfortable with, I just feel like there have been, it almost reminds me of like, those Disney stars who they're so pure and then they're like, I want to disavow Disney, and then they come completely slutty or whatever, like Miley Cyrus or Amanda Bynes kind of did that. She went a little crazy. We're not going to go crazy. You don't have to completely change who you are and how you, but this energy over here is kind of like talking about you kind of have to discover who you are and lean into that. And we're getting this pure energy. Pure also can talk about integrity, this integrity for who you are. And just because you're sexy, it doesn't mean that you have to be like a slut or a hoe, things like that. There's this beauty and sexiness about you that is very pure. So take time to purge. Take time to purge the negativity around you and detach from it completely. There might be some people that you need to detach from. That might also be why we have that heartbreak here. When somebody is pushing you into a specific role, or they think that you need to be a certain way, or they are, they don't like the way that you're presenting yourself, it might be time to put some boundaries around yourself and detach from that. Protect yourself from harm by fostering positivity and learning things about yourself and what makes you feel safe. It's time. I also feel like maybe that this Emperor came in reverse because you may be trying to kind of conform to some sort of norms, and the only thing that you need to conform to is to your authentic self. And I feel like that's kind of what the moon energy and the crystal is about here. And don't worry about changing, like this ebb and flow here with the moon energy. Sometimes you want to be a little bit flirty, sometimes you don't. It's all about being your authentic self and embracing what you want and who you are. The fawn energy, this is quiet and calm. It's talking about being new at something, because the fawn, you think about a baby fawn, I get the image of Bambi here trying to walk and stumbling. A fawn stumbles on new legs, exploring the world delicately, carefully, and cautiously. I almost feel like this idea of your sexual, sensual, sexy self might be new to you. That might be also why we have the the sevens here, because it's almost like we're making a cake and it's not quite there, it's not quite baked yet. We have this kind of fresh start, this fresh beginning, and don't worry, I mean, you will be up and running close enough, but be careful and cautious. Remain calm in your situation. There's no reason to get do things that you're comfortable with. You don't have to, just because, your friend wants to wear this certain outfit and coordinate with you, you don't have to do that, or feel like society, to fit in, you have to do a certain thing. You are whatever you project and put out there. There is going to be people attracted to you and love it. And then almost I feel like the 8 of Cups here is, you are capable of putting out all sorts of different types of energy and attracting all sorts of different people, but you want to kind of hone in on the type of energy and the type of attractiveness and sexiness that you are, to attract that back to you, something that you're comfortable with. And that might be why this moon energy and this kind of like idea of meditating on who you are, what you want to attract, the type of sex appeal you want to put out there. And don't worry about it. You'll be, like I said, you'll be up and running in no time. So that's what I have for you, group 1. Let me know if that resonates. Let me know what song you really like and resonates for you right now. I'll tell you one. Lana Del Rey, and it's been remixed. Lana Del Rey did this song, and I don't even know what the name is, but she goes, "Baby, I'm a gangster too," in it. And I'll put the link down below so you can listen to it. But I just love the remix of it, and it's kind of like and I almost feel like this goes really along with this too. So if you're interested in this song, I feel like this would be great for you, where she's like, hey, I know that you are, this type of person, you're badass or whatever, but don't count me out. I'm a gangster too. I'm badass too. So that's what I have for you, group 1. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading for What Makes You So Sexy. So we've got our Caribbean Calcite, and we've got this lovely deck here, number 2. Whatever brought you here, you're in the right spot. I have already shuffled this, but if you've watched my videos before, I shuffle as we go. We are going to ask 5 questions, pull at least 1 card for each here about you and your attractive sexiness, your sexy self. And then I've got 2 other supporting decks that will pull out more information. So we're just going to get a read on you right now. And we have the Fool. I love this. I love the Fool. I don't think you quite know your potential. There's a ton of potential in the Fool. The Fool is, I feel like there's a very strong clubbing vibe here. Fun energy, new energy, almost like a new puppy kind of energy when we have the Fool. But you need to be careful. I almost see this is so interesting, because we've got this like sleeping alligator dragon type form underneath the surface. When I'm talking about sexuality, sensuality, kundalini energy kind of comes to mind. I feel like there's so much you can do with your I'm getting a feeling in my chakras here, my lower chakras, that sacral chakra, with that sexuality and sensuality. I feel like you can, there's a, I don't even know what that's called, but there's a whole group of people who they abstain from physical contact so that they can use that sexual energy and channel it into other areas. Some people talk about channeling it into athletics, some sort of talent, music, things like that. I feel like with this kind of Kundalini coming out here, you're sexual, like you're a very sexual being, like very, very sensual, very sexual being. And your connection with that is very, very important. And it can also be channeled into other areas. It doesn't take away, like, don't be concerned if you're like, but I like my contact. I don't want to like brush that off so that I can be talented over here. I'm not one to subscribe to that. So you use your beliefs in however way that you want to, but I just feel like you can channel this sexual energy. I think you have an abundance of it. I think that people see it and you exude it. There's just something about you. Like maybe you're not the most on the paper, like classically beautiful person. We'll say, I saw something about Amber Heard, right? Amber Heard, her face is like the most beautiful face in the world, whatever, if that's true or not. But if you are comparing your face to her face, maybe not, but your energy to her energy, blow out of the water. You blow her, like you're not going to go poop on somebody's bed. Anyway, but what I'm saying is like, once you get past that initial, like maybe you don't feel like you're physically attractive. I think you are. But maybe, you know, a lot of people are very harsh on themselves and maybe you don't feel like that, or you're comparing yourself to somebody else who has a completely different attraction. It doesn't matter. Underneath the surface, it is just like there's this almost dominatrix vibe, this Dita Von Teese kind of thing. And I know I'm using female references, so make the appropriate male reference of just a lot of feminine energy here, a lot of very, very sexual energy and very blossoming, very beautiful and blossoming and tons of potential. What do others find sexy about you? Your sex appeal, what do others find sexy about you? We've got the 9 of Cups. Wow. Look at this. The 9 of Cups is the wish card. The 9 of Cups is about emotions. They're seeing this energy. They see you. They see that sexual tension, that sexual energy. They are very attracted to it on an emotional and energetic level. That's the Cups here. More blooming, more blossoming. I think you help people feel better about themselves. I think that's part of the sexual energy that you put off. Like when other people are around you, that you make them feel good about themselves. And it's just kind of like this circle of radiating energy that builds and builds and builds. I think that's kind of what I was seeing over here with the Kundalini energy, about energy expanding and building. And like, you are a lot of people's desire. Certainly there's at least one person who has a lot of desires and would wish to be with you. That wish card. The wish card is having anything and everything that you could want. And people who find you attractive or find you sexy, like that's what they think about when they see you. You're the total package. Hidden gem. What is something that is like hidden from you or that you don't quite appreciate about yourself here? When we get the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands, and we get it in reverse. 2 of Wands is about planning. It is about, and you can see she's sitting here looking at the moon. She's got the world in her hands. I don't think you quite know yet how to harness your energy. And maybe you're even just discovering it. You're discovering this sexuality, this sensuality. I would suggest that you look into the Kundalini energy, Tantra, Kundalini yoga, things like that. I feel like your body and moving your body is really helpful to yourself. Now, 2 of Wands, this came in reverse. That kind of goes with, see, we have goals, we have ideas, we have plans, planning, events, things like that. Wands is is action, and it is passion. So there's a lot of passion and fire around you. When we have this card in reverse, it speaks more to your personal self, your personal goals. I feel like this unlocking of, like I was saying, like moving your body, especially with yoga, something about that, and these personal goals will help you connect to yourself a little bit more. And I think that's kind of like what's in order, or what you need right now. To take on the world, and kind of like that discovery of you and your perception of the world is more important than anything else. How to appreciate your sex appeal. We get the Chariot in reverse. Okay, the Chariot. The Chariot's about movement. It's interesting that on this card we have a snail, but it's spirals here. So when we have the Chariot in reverse, I always feel like it's instead of a time for movement, instead of a time for action, it is a time for meditation. It is a time for going inside, which is kind of like what I was talking about with the Two of Wands reversed. It's a time for self-discovery rather than picking up the reins and running with something. It is kind of more of a mastery over yourself, over possibly your own thoughts, or your own feelings, your own emotions. It's interesting that we have it next to the Nine of Cups, just because the Chariot is ruled by Cancer, which is a water sign, and it's a very emotional sign. So I feel like it's time to kind of get a handle on your emotions, and letting your emotions, being more of an observer of your emotions, letting your emotions guide you rather than rule you. And your emotions, they have some very important things to tell you, but it's kind of like harnessing those emotions to then move forward. But right now it's getting I was going to say getting your heart wrapped around your emotions, but that doesn't quite, getting like a handle on your emotions so that it doesn't harm you. We want to use your emotions in a positive light. So appreciating your sex appeal, the emotional part of it, the emotional aspect of it, I feel like the people around you notice and are connected to those emotions, and you might have like a little bit of a disconnect, or you're not quite, like what you think somebody's thinking isn't really quite what they're thinking. And I think you need to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you need to worry more about what you're thinking and what you're doing than what they are. That'll come, and trust me, I feel like it's all very positive anyway. And then how to bring it out, how to bring your sex appeal out, your sexiness out. And we've got the Page of Swords reversed. Swords is about your thoughts. Again, getting control of those thoughts before we start moving forward. Page of Swords is somebody who would go out maybe a little bit impetuously. It's interesting that this Page of Swords has the dandelion here, the wishes blowing in the wind. So that's very interesting that we have a lot of connections to the wishes. Swords is that thought energy, that air energy, and again, it's just getting your own, how to bring it into being. Like, I think you have everything. I think you have everything at your fingertips. Maybe reading, if you find yourself like over reading or over complicating things or overthinking things, it might be time to shut your brain off a little bit and let it go, because we've got our Page of Swords standing on some books here. In my day, it used to be Cosmopolitan. We would read Cosmo magazine, and they would tell us what to wear and what to do with our nails or our hair, things like that. I almost feel like it's with this card coming in reverse here, it's letting go of the books, of the advice, and it's more about you getting really in touch with yourself, your own thoughts, your own feelings. And I know that's almost harder, which is why everybody wants to read something in a magazine. and be told what to do. Find balance. So find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. I think that the balance kind of comes from this finding your sexuality and your sensuality and using that and tapping into it to help you in other areas of your life. And again, look up tantric kundalini and that energy, because I feel like there's a lot of untapped energy and creativity. There's a lot of creativity in your sexual energy. Friendship. Fairies and humans, these are fairy cards, by the way. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. Your friends have a lot to say. Your friends know you better than anybody else, and don't be afraid to discuss things like this with them. I think that they have a good perspective on who you are. They're going to tell you about how everybody wishes to be around you, and I think that's a good thing for you to discover. New moon and deception. Okay. I kind of feel like it's time to be honest with yourself. It's honesty, integrity, things like that. Deception comes out. This is in the suit of sins for this particular deck, and then this new moon is the suit of moons. New moon often signifies a new beginning. This card is about, though emptiness that you may feel, isolation and sadness have hit you full force and is wreaking havoc on your soul. I want to give you a hug. Take some time to heal, grieve, but don't spend too long there. New things await you on the other side. I almost feel like that's kind of why we've got this Chariot out here, and maybe even this Page of Swords in reverse. It's time to get your head and heart in the same place, work some things out. You may almost be coming out of, I almost feel like these two cards kind of speak to something in the past, that you may have a past relationship, or a relationship where you feel like somebody is deceiving you and they're not telling you the truth. Maybe they're stifling your sexual energy. Maybe there's a third party person that you aren't getting the attention that you deserve or need or require from this relationship, and it's kind of letting you feel like there's something wrong with you, and there's not. There's something wrong with the situation for sure, but something wrong with you other than you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. That's why you need to lean into your friends here and let them help you. It's interesting, we also have the Fool with the new moon. Both of these signify new beginnings. So if you are thinking about a relationship that you're in right now and it's not hitting on all cylinders, like these two cards talk about brand new beginnings, full potential. And what I'm seeing with the rest of these cards here is, yes, taking a moment to yourself, if this is resonating with that past relationship, taking a moment to gather yourself, get yourself together, put yourself on the best light. But my dear, you are going to have no problem at all finding another partner should you choose that. I feel like finding the right partner is more about you clearing out and getting rid of this negative energy from this deception here. This, like I said, this is from the suit of sin. It's lying, trickery, betrayal, deception. Sometimes it seems the easiest way to avoid. This is what the book says about this is, telling a white lie. It's time to stop lying to yourself. It's time to stop lying to your friends and the people around you and support you. It really is. There's a lot of powerful sexual, sensual energy around you. And it's time to start using it for you, using it for your own purposes rather than trying to pull together something that isn't working, is kind of what I'm seeing with this. So I feel like somebody is not being somebody that you have let in is not being honest with you or making you feel bad about yourself because you have stripped down the walls and you've allowed that. And it's time to start picking up your own pieces and getting the confidence in yourself. And then you can have anything and everything and anyone and everyone that you wish for. Okay, so don't spend your time and energy on somebody who would deceive you and who would make you feel less than, because you are pretty freaking amazing. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3, group Jade, group Light Seers. Let's talk about what makes you so sexy and attractive. We are going to ask 5 questions of this deck. We're going to get at least 1 card for each one of those questions. Then I've got 2 supporting decks that we're going to pull out here in a second. I have already shuffled this, but as always, if you watch my videos, I shuffle and pull as we go. Right now, let's talk about you right now, a card to represent you right now. And we've got the 10 of Swords in reverse. So, 10 of Swords, this one is nicer than a lot of other 10 of Swords. I'm just going to be honest with you. Usually we've got like 10 swords sticking out of somebody's back. A betrayal, feeling less than, feeling beat up, feeling like, and a lot of it can be from gossip, somebody speaking behind your back. It could be your own thoughts. It could be yourself beating yourself up. A lot of times that's what it is. It feels like you feel like you're walking away. It feels like you're picking up pieces. It feels like you're at the end of your rope. It feels like you're tired. You're just done with stuff. When we have 10 of Swords in reverse, could mean that we are stuck in a cycle. Usually when I have a card reverse, sometimes it means we're blocking this energy or we're about to release it and come out of it. I am concerned with the 10 of Swords energy because a lot of times negative energy is kind of seductive. It's seductive in itself, and it's easy to get weighed down and wallow down back in it. So I feel like we really do need to have this conversation about release and letting go, and it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. It's time to pick ourselves up. You are stronger than you think you are. You are, and strength is part of that sexiness, that strength and that resilience. Picking yourself back up over and over again. I almost feel like there's very masterful master energy. And the very next card that just popped out here, we get the Fool. I love that because I feel like, look at the difference in energy between these 2 cards. Where this person is walking away, they look sad and they're contemplating things. Their energy is running away with them. And the Fool, this Fool almost looks like a surrender, almost like a letting go, almost like a, yes, I am going to do this and I am going for joy. This is what others find sexy about you. Once you're able to release, because I'm kind of reading this as a story here. You might need to spend some time on this release, but we have a beautiful, brand new, shiny potential here. New beginning. I love the Fool energy. I love the starting new. I love the letting go. Look, she's not even carrying any baggage. A lot of times the Fool is carrying something, but it's not a lot. They're just bringing the good things with them. She has a crystal. She's holding an amethyst. Looks like she's about to fall into this beautiful pool of water and release and let go. The sun is shining down on her. Like I said, a ton of potential. You have done the work. You've climbed to the top. It is time. And a lot of times when we're in this 10 of Swords energy, we've gotten beat up because we have been trying, we have been working, we have been doing, and we've been striving for something. It is time to hit that next level where things are going to start to get easier for you. You're going to start seeing more potential. You can do things that you want, do things that, like, So I have another deck where the Fool is called the Dreamer. I love that idea. Following your dreams. So what others find attractive about you, they love your dreams. They love the ideas that you come up with. They love the potential. You have a ton of potential. And as I'm going through here, things keep popping up. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. Your hidden sexiness, your hidden gem, you're hidden because you're blocking it with the Three of Cups energy in reverse. You have, where you feel like you're alone here, you have people around you who love you and want to support you and who are with you. It hurts them to see you when you're not at your best. And it's really that you have people who just, it almost reminds me of that kind of like, want to come up and adjust your crown. You have people who, when you succeed, they succeed. Your sexiness is this connection with other people. You can make connections with other people, even when you feel alone. I almost feel like you know this. I almost feel like you know that you have deep connections with other people. And that's kind of why you want to suffer in silence, because you don't want to put your negative energy on them, but they are here to take it because they don't want to see you putting all this negative energy on you. And it's time to embrace others. There are so many people around you who love you with the Three of Cups energy, and they support you and they want to be around you and they want to hold you and they want to hold you up. You are not here alone. You have people who believe in your dreams and support your dreams, and they believe in you and the strength that you have, and you have a ton of strength. Ooh, how to appreciate your sex appeal. How to appreciate, I like this. Appreciate your sex appeal. Look at this, we've got another 3. This time the 3 of Wands. Putting some things into action. You're a bad bitch. Sorry, that's maybe not everybody feels like that or resonates with that, but I'm telling you, you are awesome. You just need to act. You need to start doing things. You need to start pushing things. You need to put your plan into place. You have amazing ideas, amazing plans. There's something about this passion here. There's fire around you, this passionate energy, and following your passions and pushing it forward. And people are on board with it. They want to support you. They want to go with you. They want to help you push these boundaries and keep moving forward. And then how to bring it out, how to bring out your sexual energy, your sexual appeal. Wow, look, we get another 10. We get the 10 of Wands. This is letting go of the baggage. I love that. I love it, because this is like you've been picking things up, and you've been picking things up for the people around you and the people who love you. They don't require you to do that. And a lot of them really kind of need you to let them handle things rather than you trying to handle everything. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I feel like there's some energy in you where you just need to free yourself up a little bit. And there's the support here for you to allow others to help you. I think you're the kind of person, you're very stubborn. That's part of your sexual, sensual, attractive energy here, this stubbornness, this resilience, this you can do, but you don't have to beat yourself up. Like, there are people here who are just as stubborn as you are, who can help you, and they want to pick up the reins and help you. They want to offer their help. Hidden depths. Interesting. Yeah, I think you're stronger than you give yourself credit for, or that you even know. Stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. These are fairy cards, by the way. That's why we're talking about fairy focus. This is that kind of magical magic within yourself that we need to tap into and rediscover. It's not gone, it's not forgotten, it's right here. These cards are showing us that you have this beautiful magic inside of you, that you have this dreamer energy inside of you. And stargazing is one way to bring it out. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting those gut feelings that come in. And you might have to be in stillness, be in darkness, look at the stars, look at the vastness of the universe to really find your place in it. And you are significant within it as well. I will tell you that. Hidden depths, something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. And I feel like that is so much speaking with this Ten of Swords energy and this Ten of Wands energy. It is the cycle of beating yourself up, this cycle of taking everything on is over. We need to go into this cycle of freedom and this cycle of where you feel like you can express yourself and express your passions. It's time to release. I almost feel like some of this release energy is about letting go of expectations from like others, maybe from your parents, from where you grew up. Maybe there was a teacher who told you that you had to be a certain way. You are busting out of it. Like it's hurting you because it's not who you are. It's not serving your sensuality, your attractiveness. And perhaps they told you something about yourself that was appropriate at the time, but it's no longer appropriate. It's no longer for you. And it's rediscovering yourself and your sexuality, your sensuality, yourself. This think before you speak. Oh, okay. And then we've got Baphomet. So one thing with the think, we'll get to this one, we'll get to the elephant or the Baphomet in the room in a moment here. One thing that I think that this is out here, this think before you speak. I think you are around people who don't think before they speak. They say very hurtful things to you, and they almost have no, like you're almost too nice to them. You allow them, I feel like you need to put some boundaries around them. You allow them to hurt you, to harm you. When we've got the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands, you allow them to let you take their burdens on the things that they say to you. It's time to start questioning what they're saying. When somebody tells you something about yourself, what they're actually saying, they're revealing themselves rather than you. And when you take that on, that thing that they're telling you about yourself, you're taking on their shame or their anger or they're taking on their trauma. And it's time to release that and let that go. I feel like this is a really important discussion that we're having here. There's a lot of people who do not think before they speak, and they are just speaking out and vomiting because they can't handle themselves. They can't handle their darkness. When I was talking about your strength, and you're like, how can my, and it's part of this sexiness, this attractiveness that you have, that people feel comfortable telling you these horrible things, but because there's just some people who would not accept that, and it's time to stop accepting that. It's time to start holding a mirror to these people who might tell you some terrible things or brand you as a specific type of person, and it's really the truth about themselves. So hold that mirror up. That's one way to release it. When you're like, nah, I'm not taking that on for you today. I'm not taking on that blame. I'm not taking on that energy. I'm not taking on that negativity. That belongs with you. I'm pushing it back. So when somebody tells you something, when they describe you, when they tell you something about yourself, you always have the opportunity to say, no, I'm not handling this. That's you. You handle it. It's your problem. It's what you need to come up with. So usually this card is like, I would tell you to think before you speak, but I feel like in the context of this reading, I feel like there's people who just, unfortunately, they're way too comfortable with you, and they just say things, they say probably really terrible things to you, and it is not you. Don't let them define you. You define yourself, is what I'm saying. So Baphomet represents balance. Baphomet is darkness and light as one. Both reside inside of you. I feel like there's a little bit more darkness that has been taking over for you here. Look at this, the difference between the dark and the light cards here. So find that balance. But it's because you have been letting other people dump their darkness on you, and it's time to stop that. Find that balance, and we're going to push out some of that darkness that has been pushed onto you. We're no longer accepting that, because we need this balance. And that's, even though it's like you can look at Baphomet and Grimacing card, but that's what we're taking about here. We have the two, like, as above, so below kind of thing, kind of vibe. What I feel like you really need to know is that you are a co-creator in the universe. You don't need people creating you. You let you create yourself, is what I'm saying. I feel like there needs to be a lot of freedom here. And once you have that, once we have that balance and that freedom, like, wow, like your energy is so powerful, and it's just going to explode for you. So, and that's with letting these people who run their mouths take on their own energy and not accepting it from them anymore. There's nothing wrong with you. You are amazing, actually. They're holding you back is what's the only thing wrong. Is it's amazing that you are this far, given some of these really negative people that are around you. That might be why also you have a hard time with these with these positive friends, these positive family members, because you have been hurt by somebody or more than one person around you. So I get that. And this whole like idea of meditating and maybe even making lists to kind of help you map things out, and so you can get things out of your head and out of your mind so you can move forward would be really helpful. So that's what I have for you, group 3. Again, I'm really feeling this very complex and beautiful and very sexy, sensual energy from you. I just think that you're having a hard time expressing it because of all the crap that's on top of it. But it's time to release that. It's time to give that back, give that negative energy back to those people who have tossed it on you, because they see your strength. They see that. So love you. Hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next reading.